You know, you'll find as I do topics like this, you'll find that certain people will hang on to the popular things, the things that are in the masses. Like when I talk about things like the Matrix, and I talk about things like uh, Matrix or Illuminati or something like that. I talk about that. That's where you'll get the most people want to hear that. Why? Because it's in the frequency of the atmosphere. You know, the beast pushes that out on the three-dimensional level, and it stimulates the minds of the masses. All right, people will come and tune in for that. Those are my biggest broadcasts. Notice that if you ever check, those are my biggest broadcasts when I do things that are, for the populace, the things the beast throws out. Rarely will you get people. You understand? Only my true hardcore people, my people that are going to come with me as they grow, the people who are in tune, the elect, who are being raised, they're going to come to broadcasts like this because it's going to resonate and make a personal connection with them. When I'm talking about things that are raising the mental of a people, something that is beyond the beast. Though I know it's hard for a lot of these Negroes to believe that there's some knowledge beyond the beast's head, because these niggas are some good Sambo coons who, they got to wait for the white man to say everything, and they call it scientific fact. And that makes me laugh. Because I always tell people, I say, look, if you niggas ain't went in no laboratory and did no experiments, you don't know what the hell scientific fact is. A white man just tell you anything, and you niggas go, just because he put a DR in front of his name and tell you that. But that's the simple mind. That's still that slave Sambo coon mentality of a lot of the black folks here in this society. Your so-called educated, your informative ones, your heavy readers, your conscious, they all got that same mentality. Even your niggas in the street, your so-called thugged out niggas in the street, they a bunch of Sambo coons too. They love the beast too. They look at him as an authority, tell them everything. So when I come through and I say, okay, I'm receiving higher intelligence, and I'm giving knowledge to my people, even though I don't really care about what they think, because they're not of the elect anyway. But, you see where it's not going to resonate with them. It's only on that three-dimensional realm. They are under and they will always be under the realm of three-dimensional people, under the realm of electricity, right? I said in the post that as we're moving into the fourth dimension, I said that the mental current will raise on the people, the elect, the ones who are moving in that evolutionary state. We will go from an electrical state to an elecquosity state. I'm going to say an elecquosity state. I had to get used to the word myself because it just came through to me. You understand? That this electrical energy that is coursing through the atmosphere moves so in a three-dimensional frame, on a three-dimensional line. It's just like when you're turning up music on. I want you all to get this picture in your mind. It's like when you're turning up music and you're looking at the levels in which you turn the music up. You'll see it's at 2, then you'll see it's at 3 as you turn it up more. You see it at the 4 and the 5. That's the same way the frequency and the mental frequency is increasing in the elect. As we're turning up the frequency, that means we're going to move on a higher mental current. We're going to move on a current that's beyond electricity, beyond the three-dimensional, because in the word electricity, you see the word elect, tri-city. You see the TRI. Tri is 3, right? So it would follow that those who are thinking on a higher level would be thinking on a higher mental current beyond the three-dimensional, because electricity moves on the same current that the mental moves on, okay? Electricity on this planet is governed by water, right, the flow of water, right? And the water produces the lesser light, right? The things that light your light bulbs and things like that with the filaments and things like that in the bulbs, it produces the lesser light. It also controls your telephones, your televisions and things like that. Electricity controls that. Right? It controls what you see, what you hear, and what comes out of your mouth, your speech, how far your speech carries. Okay? Even your speech carries on electrical current. So what is the fourth thing after the three-dimensional state of electrical current? Elecquosity. Elecquosity. Fourth dimensional current, mental current, which is what the telepathy runs on, because you can shut your mouth and say nothing and send thoughts. So now that means that if you're sending clear thoughts and clear pictures that are not based on speech, because you're not talking, that are not based on sight, because you can't see it, that is not based on sound, because you can't hear it to the physical ear, but yet it's resonating in your mind, and you're able to communicate, and you're able to pass thoughts back and forth. So it is resonating, right? It makes sense that we would think on a higher level. The elect, the chosen, right? We're going to get into this deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. I had to go to the fourth stage on that. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares, and this is State of Mental Radio, and tonight we're talking about the numerical breakdown and frequency of the 144,000. When I talk about the numerical breakdown of the 144,000, see, people will sit and they'll say that that number, they don't, nobody ever broke down why that number, what does that really mean, and what had to precede that number in order for us to get to that in this state in which we are now. I said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad came and he talked about the number 360 degrees. He spoke about 360 degrees, which was dealing with a cipher or a circle they talked about, right? 360 degrees, meaning completion, right? But it was actually the mastering of a dimension. It was actually the mastering of a way of thinking, right? When the Nation of Islam would say knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? It was the mastering of something, right? Now, after the Honorable Elijah Muhammad came Dr. Malachi York, and he started talking about 720 degrees of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, right? Now, 360 degrees and 360 degrees equals 720. So that was a double understanding of knowledge that was to come, knowledge in the past and the present state. Those two states that they came with, they were talking about knowledge in the past and the present state, right? So now, when you're talking about 144, right, 144,000 or 1,440, right? That's talking about that's 720 plus 720. That makes 1,440, right? Which is brings you up to your 144,000. If you look at the number 000 or cipher, that represents the states of three-dimensional form in this rotation in the earth, okay? Mastering of those three dimensions, which was 360, 720, and 1,440, okay? That was making mention of the third dimension of people, or third generation of people who would come, who would receive a knowledge that was greater than the other two previous forms of knowledge that would free them into a higher way of thinking, right? That would take them out of the circle, because after the three dimensions are mastered, then there's the fourth, where there is time opens up. All right? Because this planet was governed by a three-dimensional reality for up to this point. There was no mention of the fourth dimension. There was no true connection to it, though people spoke about it as a mental connection. But it's not something that's in motion continuously. Why was that? What slowed it down? Well, what helped to slow it down was the advent of your TVs and your radios, right? These things that moved on current, right? Because when these things are in effect, when the TVs are on, when the radios are on, and things like that, it actually slows down the current. It actually has to carry pictures and images on that current, right? It's carrying pictures and images and sound on that. So what happens when you're using these images and these pictures and these sounds to ride the current? It slows it down, right? It takes precedent in your mind. It keeps certain images from resonating in your mind of where you're supposed to be evolving to. All right? Now, like I said, true informed that the third generation, which is now us, the elect in this new day and time, the third generation, the people who came after Elijah and Malachi, the next people that would come, who would be talking about 1,440 degrees, right? Which all of those numbers equal up to, like I said, 360, 3 and 6 equals 9, 7 and 2 equals 9, and 144 equals 9. That means that these people who were traveling on this path or were moving in this circle or in this dimension, they would be, or they would receive the highest form of knowledge, because 9 means completion, or should I say beginning of something. I said in the Facebook, I said there's no such thing as complete. It's just 9 means the opening of something. All right? When you get to the number 9, you open something. It's not the end of something per se. It's only the end within this realm. But then it's the open door to something else. Right? That separation takes place where you get to 10, the 1 and the 0, and you start over again. There's a separation that takes place. See, all of these things link up. This is not spookism, and this is not symbolism. All these things link up, and all of these, when you're dealing with numbers, it's dealing with coordinates. Right? Coordinates deal with where you're supposed to be, your timing, where you're supposed to be moving to, how you're supposed to be moving on the earth. So when we're talking about these numbers like 360, 720, 1440, these are all coordinates, right? If you don't have any coordinates in this realm, then you're lost. Same way when you're moving nautical and you're moving in the ocean, if you don't have any coordinates, you don't know where the hell you are. So all that's based on what? Measurement, time, number systems, right? The 144,000, that is a number system. That is a numerical system of people who would be, who would resonate in this time as the elect, or people who have moved to a three-dimensional, you understand, who have moved to a three-dimensional picture and who are moving beyond the three-dimensional picture. 144000. All right? Those 3 zeros represent the 3 dimensions, those 3 worlds that are closing, and a new door that's opening. Right? Because if we are moving in a linear state, if we are moving beyond where we are before, then that means our thoughts become more higher. They become charged. Telepathy can't move in a three-dimensional state. Why can't telepathy move in a three-dimensional state? Or it can't, how I want to say, it can't, it's going to be higher, or it's going to move higher than a three-dimensional state. All right? It would pick up in a new time frame or in a new dimension as a new knowledge, as a new way of connection. So it would make sense that it would be above the first 3 dimensions. Okay? This is why I said when I talked about the beast and he put the 366, right? I said the reason why his number is 366 is because 666, because in the IBM Grand Dragon, the computer, they have 3,666. All right? That's the number, the numerical value or the coordinates of their number. The reason why they use 6 3 times is because I said they mastered, the beast was showing that he mastered those 3 dimensions. All right? That's why I said in the book of Revelation that the beast number is 666, because the Amen beings who sent that message to that man in that time were telling him that the beast would master what you would see, what you would hear, and what you were speaking. All right? Meaning that he would control your mind on a submental level. Now he's trying to move to the 4th dimension to take further control. Like I said, why he does the reality shows, why he has all these things I call mindless entertainment. You understand? Where he's taking control of your mind. He's programming your thoughts. They were working on that from the time of television, radio, things like that. They were working on programming your thoughts. That's why they refer to it as a television program. They were working on that. I have a big book in here called Mind Control in the United States. Though I never really looked at the book because somebody gave it to me and whatnot. But that proved to me that, I kept it because it brought it home that, this thing works off of mind control, that the goal of any society, of any government, is to control the minds of the people. Because from the fourth dimension is where your ideas, where your inspiration comes from, the things that will ultimately free you from your bondage. Harriet Tubman was receiving fourth dimensional knowledge, future knowledge, in order to free the people, because at that time, the reality of that time was that black people were slaves, right? So it took a woman like that to be a part of the evolution to create or bring in a new reality of free black people, people who were not in bondage, something that was unheard of. That wasn't of that time, right? That wasn't of that time. She brought in a new reality, right? She brought in a new reality. See, at that time, you had the world. The beast was taking control of the world. He was trying to take hold, he had hold really of the two dimensions. He didn't have hold of the three dimensions yet. He controlled what you read, right? Through newspapers, he started taking hold gradually. He controlled what you read, right? He controlled what you. He didn't control totally what you. He didn't control totally what you saw yet. Well, he did in a way because he put pictures in newspapers. So he controlled what you read, what you saw, what you read. You understand? But the speech wasn't totally controlled yet. Lightweight in the newspapers. Nah. It took on a higher form of control, and it took time to take on a higher form of control. And when the 20th century came in, and you had your advent of your televisions, your televisions, your computers, and your radios, this is where he took control of the three dimensions. That's where he was able to take control of it. More on, like I said, what you were able to see, hear, and speak. All right? She represented a new reality. See, this is why when I talked about also the number 13, which oftentimes I refer to the elect, the 144,000, and then you have your Israelites who refer to the elect as the 1/3. The 1/3 represents the 13 tribe, and the number 13 represents a new day or a new time. And this society is considered bad luck, right? The number 13. Why is it considered bad luck? And why is it considered to be disjointed in the society? Because the number 13 represents a new beginning, a new order, right? It represents a new order, a new beginning. And the ancient Egypt and the Jewish, even in modern day Jewish law, when the boy goes to a bar mitzvah or the girl goes to a bas mitzvah, it's at 13. Right? Reason why it's at 13 is because that represents the new time when they're going from boys to men, and the girls are going from girls to women. The boy usually starts to make semen around that time. The girls usually start to menstruate. So that's considered to becoming young men and women. It's a new time, a new phase. Now, the reason why it's considered a bad luck number in this society because a people that will lift up the number 13 will represent a new order, right? That's why the United States used the number 13. In the beginning, they started with 13 colonies because they were representing a new order here in this country, and they were taking out the Indians. All right, they were bringing a new order, but they also were mindful that a new people would come with the number 13 to bring a new order. Once a new order goes in, that means the old order goes out. That's why the beast made the number 13 a bad luck number, because that means his order got to come down. Something else has got to come up. That means he's out of power, and he knows it's coming. All right? It means also that these people, because 1 and 3 equals 4. 1 and 3 equals 4 represents what? The fourth dimension, where these new world order people, these elect, would receive intelligence from the future to move them ahead of everybody else, so they would be unbeatable. See, the beast, the things that he received from the future, things that would put him in charge of the world, was like gunpowder, guns that put him over the world. Technology, technical knowledge. These are the things that will shoot the people ahead of everybody. But your mind has to be in reception mode. Your mind has to be ready to receive higher intelligence to put you ahead of everybody else. In other words, you can't be or you can't vibrate mentally on this same mental current as everybody else, this sub-mental current, right? The elect are going to move on a totally different current. They're going to move as the 144,000, right? As the 144,000, they will move in a state of elecquacity, right? That is the first stage of pathmatic. The elecquacity puts them in a fourth dimensional realm to start picking up higher senses like telepathy, psychometry, and things like that the beast talked about. He has knowledge of these things, right? And your ancients, they had connection to it as well, here and there in bits and pieces, right? But your mind has to be open to receive. Your mind has to be open to receive higher intelligence. In other words, you can't go with preconceived notions. You have to be willing to start over, dump out, go blank. Like you shutting down the computer to reboot. That's the same way I tell our people in the state of mentality, elect, you're going to have to shut down like a computer and reboot to receive fourth dimensional knowledge, to start vibrating in that state of elecquacity, not electricity. We're gradually doing this, and we're going to get stronger at it. This is the evolution, where your three-dimensional beliefs and philosophies and things that came from the beast no longer exist. You understand? Those will be the people in the submental. They will be as useless as cavemen and cavewomen. Your people who are caught in religion, your people who are caught in philosophy, pseudoscience, and things like that of the beast. You'll be as outdated as cavemen and cavewomen amongst the elect, amongst the new race that is coming. People that will move on a fourth dimensional current, on a mental current that is charging forward and opening up higher capabilities. Because with each stage, each frequency, with each realm that your brain climbs, once you open yourself for reception, with each realm that your brain climbs to, which each realm where you allow your brain to open up to mental messages, is kicking over. You understand? Like turning on the engine, it's kicking over and it's pulling up a frequency. And pictures are resonating. That's why I try to be as verbal. That's why I try to be as try to be as descript as possible. I try to put real pictures in your head, and I try to simplify it as much as possible so it resonates in your head. I don't never want to speak over the heads of the people because, like I said, it's supposed to overlay each other. The fourth dimension is supposed to overlay onto the third. It's supposed to be a gradual evolution. It's not supposed to be a jump because, like I said, if I jumped, there's a lot of stuff, people wouldn't understand. They wouldn't be able to comprehend it. It's supposed to be a gradual frequency boost. And I'm trying gradually to do that. Those of our people who understand that this is the new bondage, you understand the three dimension, we realize that that's the new bondage that our people are in. The mental bondage, that the state of elecquacity, the state of fourth dimension is what offers freedom to our people. Okay? I'm going to take a call. 706, you're on the air.
How you doing?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm listening to the show. I'm really getting a lot of insight as to, how I'm feeling, why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking now, and the things that you're saying, they're kind of like putting things in perspective for me as far as, like what you said, like you got to shut down, like, and you're going to have to reboot yourself. It happened to me. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's exactly what happened to me. It's like I shut down, and I became like a whole new person, and I already had some knowledge, about the elect, the bright ones, and and the control over the mind control thing. But now I'm just like, I look at everything now. I look at everything so differently. I listen to things differently. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
But yeah, I'm just listening, and I think you're right about it has to be a gradual. It has to be gradual.
Mhm.
It can't just be all in one jump.
Mhm. Well, like I said, like I was saying, this has to be our people coming together to make it stronger. See, when I talked about our people coming together and being one, you know what I'm saying, and this in a community like that, that's gonna increase the frequency. Our people can't increase the frequency separate. A lot of our people are not getting it. A lot of our people are not getting it. They still want to be individuals. It's not gonna. I said, in order for you to receive electricity, there has to be a collective. There has to be a group. I'm writing a book called Collectricity, right? Or Collecquosity. I should be writing that more than anything, Collecquosity. I'm introducing these terms to you because they're supposed to resonate in the minds of the people. It's meant to. Excuse me. It was meant to be introduced to us by way of mankind, by way of human, because the human beings are nothing but instruments themselves. They were instruments that were in the world to gear us back, the almond beings, back to where we're supposed to be. They serve no purpose other than to what I want to say. They serve no purpose other than to keep balance and whatnot, keep some sort of order here, and guide till our people start to power back up. That's really what they're here for. They don't serve any purpose other than that. The human race serves no other purpose other than to keep order. And, until the time the almond beings start to power back up, because that's supposed to be the real breakdown in the order. It's almond, the almond beings, the almond race, and then the humans. That's how that's supposed to work. Everything's out of order right now.
Yeah, you're right.
Because they produce something called because we allow them to produce something called the black race.
Right.
And that's where everything got messed up at. A bunch of dead receivers are now being utilized to keep this order going, because if the beast he thrives in darkness, right? Then it would make sense for him to have people who are mentally dead, who are in darkness, to not be able to receive light, to receive intelligence, to move them ahead of him. So he keeps the ignorance going purposely, to keep them in darkness, because once those people come to light, once those people come out of that whole black race thing and this whole idea that they're supposed to be in a certain corner of the earth called Africa, like a bunch of jackasses, then they could start, turning back on. Elijah Muhammad and them start trying to turn the light back on gradually, but a lot of our people still want to stay in the dark.
Now you say come to the light, or do you mean go through the light?
No, I'm saying open up and receive light.
Right. Okay.
Reception.
Right.
Because, like I said, our people are mentally dead. Our people are they're like I said, they're walking dead now. They're not receiving anything, like I said, because you could tell how even in the music that they're shutting down, because our people are not even producing music. When our people were producing music, that was actually future sound coming through our people, things like jazz, R&B, things like that. It was future sound. We would have to go through a creative process and open up to receive these things. Now the black race is so mentally dead, and they're just so they're so mentally dead they can't receive anything. That's why you hear this garbage that's coming out as the music, because a lot of our greatest creativity came through music.
And
that's gone now.
Music for me, it's all about. It's supposed to give you information, subconscious information.
There's no conscious information. There's only intelligence. There's only supposed to be intelligence that's supposed to be downloaded into the bright ones, into the elect. That's his information is like a bastardized form of intelligence.
Okay.
You know, it's an adulterated form of intelligence. You know, and that our people been receiving information which has trained them to act a certain way, and a submental way of thinking. So the information was meant to train you. Right? It wasn't meant to raise your mental. It was meant to train you in to survive in a submental box, or train you to live a certain way in that submental state. And a lot of black people have absorbed this information. Okay?
I'm glad you said that.
All right. Any more questions?
No, none. Continue.
All right. We are moving in that stage of well, I said electricity. I said we're moving in that stage of coming together. I said that our people are not strong enough, and like I said, those of our people who are still in this egotistical mindset where you know, they got the individual thing going. You know, when you have you have a body of people that line. You have a body of people that's supposed to be lining up to receive, because if these people are on one page and they're lined up, there's a reason why it said 144,000. Right? It said that, and they said as a tribe, as a family, as a group, as a collective. You understand that? That means that they had to be on a different page mentally. They had to be receiving or collecting, collecting light or intelligence, right? Receiving. That's why I said I would write the book Electricity and then Collect Quasity once our people are together. You know, these are real forms of light streams or forms of intelligence that are coming through to those people who opened up for it. All right? There's only going to be one truth, one knowledge. That's it. Right? And it's going to place one people above all, as it was supposed to be. New governance, new time frame, new state, new division of people, division of mental space. Right? You had to find out that you were not part of the human race, so that you could separate yourself mentally from the human race. Because, like I said, the black race, like I said, they're operating as darker versions of the humans. Things are going backwards. Things are going and spinning out and spiraling out of control. Things are spiraling into a state of darkness. Right? But the rise comes from where? The light. Light produces heat, electricity, right? Intelligence. I said that it'll come a time where you'll have this planet, right? Because they're setting up. I said they're setting up the planet to run on solar panels, because the water that you currently run electricity from will no longer be useful. Right? It's not going to run on electrical current anymore like that. You know, solar energy is bringing electricity. Right? Solar energy is bringing electricity. Right? Light. Right? Light energy. Solar energy is a form of electricity. Fire energy. Not running water. Most in here, if you're in New York City and things like that, our power comes from water rushing over Niagara Falls, right? Because once water is in a state of movement, there's electricity in it. Anything that moves carries electricity, right? Anything that moves carries electricity. Anything that moves carries a form of current, power, right? And power is governed by what? Light, energy, the sun, right? In some form, shape, or some way, shape, or form, is governed by that, right? So now, as this planet is becoming more of a solar energized planet, and you got people putting up, what is it, the solar panels, and excuse me, they're talking about pulling power from the sun. You're seeing that they're trying to figure out a way to tax the sun's energy. Because if they don't figure a way to tax the sun's energy, in other words, if they don't figure a way to generate energy from the sun or distract the sun's energy, it's going to kill off the planet. The rays would kill off the planet. They had no other choice but to start putting up solar panels. You understand? They don't have any other choice. All right? This is the evolution of a people and their thinking. Right? You'll be able to receive more light messages. Right? You'll be able to receive greater intelligence as people who are complete. Right? Take a notice of the number 9. Right? There's a circle and a line. Right? That is the final circle and line before you get to the number 10, where the circle and line separates. Right? That means there's no more togetherness. That was the, like I said, completion of that realm and a new reality that comes in. 10. Right? 10. A new reality that comes in where the separation of a people, of an elect, of a people, a group of people, will start to wake up and realize that they're not like the people that are caught in this circle. And then they would have to receive an intelligence that would lift them, that would resonate or in their minds to make them special people, advanced people, right? A 13th tribe, a 13th dimension. When they talk about the 13th dimension is actually the gate that's open, right? It's actually parallel to the 4th dimension. The 13th dimension and the 4th dimension are parallel to each other. Why? Because the 4th dimension is the first stage of mental enlightenment, right? And the 13th is the open door out of this realm, you know, to continuous mental elevation into the universe. So though the 13th gate is actually the open gate out of this realm, out of this atmosphere, right? The white man, he's trying to travel it when he goes into space, right? He's going into space, but then he's realizing he has a problem, which is why he figures after he goes to a certain level, he says, you know what? They have to start running their ships, you know, not from fuel that's found here on Earth, right? That their ships, when they go out into the universe, after a while, they're just coasting. Because the fuel doesn't work in space, in the universe. Doesn't work. Right? Don't get fooled by when you see it. You know, they're actually coasting. Right? They're coasting to planets. They're figuring out a way to steer and coast to planets. It only works. The fuel that they use to get off the planet only works to get them off the planet. After that, they're coasting into the universe. There's no push. Right? What takes you through the universe? The mental, the mind. That's what takes you through. That's why I said before, the beast, he's trying to get his astronauts to study meditation and things like that, you know, because they're figuring that these crafts have to be powered by mind control, by a mental pulsation. And how the mental pulsation works is that they have to pick up a frequency, right? They have to pick up a pulsation to move them ahead because, like I said, there's no boundary. There's nothing for them to dock at. There's no boundary for them to move around like on Earth. Two totally different atmospheres. Like I said, when you come into Earth's atmosphere, that's when you start falling under the law of gravitation and things like that, and the dimensions, the time frames. The ladder, right? You fall, like I said, you have to climb the ladder to get out. Okay? Just as you have to climb the ladder to get in. Same way the Amen beings, and they come through dimensions as well. Right? Then you figure out that, you know, to leave here mentally, when you're picking up from the fourth dimension, and then you get to actually the 13th dimension, which is the gate to where you go into the universe, into space, where there's continuous light, continuous mental evolution there, continuous mental frequency there, power. Then there's no more boundaries. I said the almond beings move in a world where there is no boundaries, where there is no planet to rotate around the sun. There's no sun for the planet to rotate around. Right? See, that's what the white man, he got it backwards at when he did the Superman story. He talked about, they come from a planet where there's a blue sun and a red sun and this. No, what they were actually describing was Earth, a future Earth. That is a time where a future Earth would come. But when you get to those almond beings, there is no sun for them to rotate around. They are the sun. They house the light within themselves. They house the light as solar plex beings, light beings. There is no sun for them. They are the suns. They are walking suns. They are walking, just as we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be walking solar complexes. You understand? Not with no goddamn what's that nonsense y'all Negroes said? These conscious Negroes said we got what is that? The joke they said we had man, it's escaping me. Chakra points. We don't have any chakra points. Animals and humans have chakra points to control their movement, like robots. Coordination, coordinates. They move in times. Like I said, the seconds, ticks. We don't have chakra points. All right? This is the reason why we're able to, we will be able to move into a state of elecquacity, elect of all people. This is the reason why we'll be able to move into that state of elecquacity. I was the first one to break down the whole thing of electricity or electricity. Meaning a state of current that moves in a three-dimensional realm. A state of current, electricity, a state of current that moves in a three-dimensional realm. Elecquacity is a state of current or power that moves in the fourth-dimensional realm. Okay? This is mentellect. All right? Didn't come from the beast. Like you niggas gonna sit up here and say, I'm pretty sure you niggas gonna sit up here and say, oh, where can I read that at, brother? What book can I get that out of? You can't. I'm the book. There's no book you can get out until I write the book. Okay? I know that's a stretch for you to hear a so-called black man saying that in New York City. Who that nigga think he is? I had to inject that in there for a little bit of laughter. Because I know these scientific Negroes listening to it, they don't listen to anything unless, the white man put it out and put it in a book. And like I said, he tell you all the time. I sit up here and I watch something. I allowed myself to watch something on the Science Channel. And the white man was talking about string theory. String theory works like this. String theory is basically his idea that, electrons and protons and all these things in the universe and the atoms all strung together by some kind of invisible yawned-in string type thing, right? Everything is stringed in. It has some strings and connections to them and things like that, right? But keep in mind, they let you know it was a theory. It's an idea. It's, nothing concrete. It's just a thought. This is a thought I got. And these niggas be like, see, brother, that's a science, brother. The scientists said it. They just made shit up. They just was thinking. They was just trying to, grasp things, and 90% of the shit they say don't even make sense. All right? They grasping at straws. They trying to figure things out. All right? Some invisible string, a yarn that connects things together. Yeah. That's funny. That's hilarious. That's comical. No, there's a mental stage, right? There is a frequency that is constantly moving, right? Just as they are constantly moving in a universe, because I'm going to do a broadcast on where the universe came from in a minute. You know, I'm gonna do a broadcast on that. Then when y'all sit up here and when it makes sense, then when y'all sit up here and be like, oh, he must be receiving something from somewhere, because it's gonna make sense when I tell you. You know. So I want to play a little bit of music, a little pause for the cause. I usually wait till about halfway through. Questions, comments, because we're gonna get deeper into this. You know, like I said, I don't expect the people who came looking for Matrix Radio and blah blah blah. They ain't supposed to be listening to this. It's a little over your head. This is elecquosity, the knowledge of elecquosity. Right, the stage or the current that is moving through the fourth dimension, that carries your telepathy, that carries your psychometry and things like that. We're coming to the stage of elecquosity. Right? So, let me see what I want to play. Is there more than one universe? No, there is not. That's why it's called a universe. It's only one universe. It's only it's all right, man. That's why it's called a universe. It's one continuous stage of that is meant to be filled by light. Right? It's meant to be filled by the light of intelligence, because think of the universe as a cup, right? And a cup is used to do what? Hold things, right? That's what the universe is there for, to hold things. You know? The universe is there to hold light, is there to hold intelligence. There's no purpose, there's no need for many universes, only one universe, one continuous dark state. Now, like I said, the white man, he introduced these things and whatnot, but he was used as a receiver to send these things. Because, like I said, man is supposed to exist as an instrument to receive higher intelligence to move other people forward. Because you black people were not in a state of reception to receive these thoughts yourself, because y'all supposed to be the real experimentalists, aka the scientists and things controlling the planet. But because y'all still so goddamn terribly behind. Y'all sitting up here, Nicki Minaj and all this other stuff, and still trying to be rappers. The black race is so terribly behind. There had to be another group that had to be raised out to receive this stuff now. So this is all. The beast was used for a certain amount of time, but he's not even going to be used as a good instrument or receptor anymore. He's not good for it anymore. He's burning out as well, right? He's going backwards as well. That's why, like I said, they put it in his head. They told him, men, women, children, order. He turned that into homosexuals, bestiality, and all that. So he's going backwards. So the almond beings like, God damn. We gotta get this A group right. We gotta speed these niggas up. We gotta speed up these fourth dimensional people. We gotta speed up this bright race, because the humans, they're not gonna be able to sustain this message any longer. You understand? The only reason why the almond beings, they came down and started breeding is because the people were so slow. So they had to bring their genetic in and speed things up, because it was going too goddamn slow. And they was like, yeah, come on. So they had to go in, had sex with the women, had produced children that was smarter. That's why they came out here. They were screwing everything. They were screwing the women that they had made on the earth, and they started making babies and procreating with them, because they had to speed up the kids, because everybody the previous generations was too slow. Now, that's what's happening right now. They can't, the beast, they're not trying to they're not trying to redo the humans. So the beast, they're trying to redo themselves. They're trying to reboot themselves. You understand? By coming with all this cybergenics and things like that, they're trying to reboot themselves, because Armin is not doing it, and they know it. They already knew they losing their connection. You understand? Their connection is starting to fade. But like I said, I want to play something. All right. Let me see what I want to play. Oh, by the way, Rod, that's called, go look up, since you're listening, look up Naked Music, right? Look up Naked Music. That's Blue 6. That's Blue 6. Anything under Naked Music, Naked Music. That's why I get a lot of our music. I'm about to upload a lot of stuff from Naked Music. They're the bomb. I love it. So, let me see what I want to play. Let me see. Oh, I ain't played this in a while. My people. We'll be right back.
Good morning, Detroit.
There really is no reason for a parallel universe, right? What would be the reason for a parallel universe where things go backwards? You know who thought up that idea of a parallel universe? The white man. Because he understands that, you know, his mindset always works in reverse or against something. You know, his mind always works against or backwards towards something. So he comes up with all these ideas, you know, about a parallel universe. He introduced that whole idea. What would be the purpose of a parallel universe? Now, there's no purpose for it. You know, the word universe, universal, one, you know, one stage of continuous darkness, one state of continuous darkness in which light is housed, is boundless. So what would be the state of making another universe that's, you know, a parallel universe? What would be the state of that? What would be the state of producing something like that? There'd be no purpose for it. Everything is the purpose of it. Everything Amen does, everything the Amen beings do is with a purpose. All right? Everything the Amen beings does is with a purpose. There's no what if and this, that, and the third. They do everything with a reason. Everything with them is applied logic. They gave us a working order. That's how you know what the truth is from a bunch of bullshit philosophies and theories. That the white man, you know, he'll say things and all you have to do is ask him why. Why is that? Just pry a little bit. Ask him why would they do that? Why would this do that? Ask him. That's all, and he's going to tell you. He's going to be like, well, I mean, because when it comes to logic, they're not logical people. Any people that would tell you, you know, that homosexuality is a logical thing when you have a biological function to lay with a woman, but then they'll call that an alternative lifestyle. These are not biological or logical people. You understand? They weren't meant to be logical. You understand? They weren't meant to be. They were meant to come here and work. That's it. They weren't meant to think. They were meant to be told what to do. Your humans were meant to be told what to do and work. You understand? The people that were supposed to be handling logic was y'all. Now they done flipped it around, got you niggas all messed up, talking about parallel universes and all kind of madness. What would be the purpose of a parallel universe? You know what I mean? There's no parallel Earth. There's no purpose for it. You know? Y'all niggas keep the Amen beings busy enough to having to deal with y'all. They moving on into the universe. There's no need for no parallel Earth. You gotta ask yourself what's logical. And I'm not beating it. Don't get it twisted. I'm not beating anybody up in the chat room or anything for the questions. There's no dumb questions and whatnot. Like I said, you have to ask yourself what would be the reason for a parallel universe or a parallel Earth. You know, why when you're talking about the only different realities is in the dimensions, and they're not really different. They're just higher. That's it. There's the only different. The white man don't even understand all of the dimensions. How the hell he gonna talk about a parallel Earth? He don't even understand all the dimensions that are framed in this thing and the time frames. How is he gonna start talking about a parallel universe or a parallel Earth? You know, he just say anything. And like I said, black people, like I said, y'all say things that don't even make sense. Y'all just repeat what he said. Y'all gotta stop doing that. That's things the black race do. I'm raising the smarter people. I'm raising a bright race. You understand? Don't repeat things the white man say. Think about it before you say it. Because the black race are a bunch of crows. They're a bunch of parrots and whatnot. You know, they'll just say anything the white man say because it sounds smart. You know? It sounds smart, but it don't make sense. I said from day one, if you want to know the truth, you have to be able to apply logic. You don't have to be there to actually see anything. Logic is the open door to all portals. It's the open door to all dimensions. You understand that? I told you I'm not going to present intellect in any other way than logical. You understand that? That's the only way they're going to give it to me. logically. They're not going to give it to me on some theory or let me go on off and make my own thing. Because I'm going to be honest with you, tonight I didn't even want to do this broadcast. I was like, I didn't think I would receive enough knowledge on it to do it. I thought it's just like virgin stuff. When I start talking about electricity, this is all stuff that's coming. So I always get nervous beforehand before doing that kind of stuff because I like to get a lot of thought in. I like to run on my treadmill and let it resonate in my mind because it speeds up the blood flow to my brain so I could receive things. But I ended up having to do this. I was going to do the show on the Antichrist. I was going to do a broadcast on that. But something made me do this. They made me do that, and like I said, I guess I'm moving along with it. They opened me up to the whole electricity thing. I don't even know why I started writing that. I started writing it the other night. It's all done to lift the intelligence of the people. You understand? No, y'all, you say, you asked me the question, can we create planets at will? Can we elevate to a higher mental state? Seems possible since we create realities already. All right? Well, here's the thing. Y'all don't create realities. You create nothing. Everything that you do right now in this submental state is already being generated into your head. You don't create anything. All right? You don't create anything. Everything that you do is generated images into your head. Images are being generated into your head from the beast. When I tried to explain to everybody that the only way you're going to start to receive higher thoughts or generated ideas into your head from the almond beings or from those ones who are advancing their thinking, who move in a collective, is as a group. You can't receive anything as an individual because everything you're thinking about, the beast already done put in your head already from the submental state. So you're not receiving anything from out there or anywhere outside. They don't work like that. You understand? It doesn't work like that. It has to be done collectively. The almond beings, they send things to people collectively because they move in a collective. They deal with groups. They don't deal with individuals. So if you don't even understand that, there's no way you can create anything. Anything that people are talking about is just, things that you are getting in your imagination that are actually, if you go back, it's actually already here in this atmosphere. I'm the only one that started introducing things outside. Why? Because I'm supposed to be raising a people to start receiving things from outside. That's my purpose for doing it. There's no other reason. It's not because I'm trying to be some ego thing. I'm the only one because I got picked for the job. I got the kick me sign put on my back. Because I'm supposed to be obviously raising the people thinking on a higher level to receive as a collective. There's no individual thoughts. There's no thoughts of your own. You're creating nothing. Once you realize that, once our egos is taken away, once you realize that you're nothing but an instrument, that's it. Either you're going to be an instrument for the beast, you understand? Or you're going to be an instrument for the almond beings, which is where you're supposed to be in line with. That's the only way we're going to start to receive generated images. Because even the beast, he receives generated images. He just found a way to convert it into information. You understand? He receives it. He'll take it, or sometimes the almond beings will just use them to do it because they need to get it onto the planet. They don't care how it gets onto the planet. They just want it to get into the world. That's how they do that. You understand? So now they're forced to let go of the electricity. They're forced to let go of the telepathy and all these things because we're moving into the fourth dimension. Because as we moved into what they call the 21st century, it's running parallel with the three dimensions because 1 and 2 is 3. It's running parallel with that. All right? He was on the second dimension here, coming out of the first thousands of years and whatnot. He was on that first dimension. It was a time where the dimensions was beyond people. You understand? But then the beast started to take control of the dimensional states. They found out that there were different realities or different stages of evolution that worked in time frames, that worked in lapses. You understand? Time lapse. Like when you overlay something, same way with animation. When you overlay pictures and you flip through a book and and when one picture, one image, the hand is up, the other picture, the hand is down, and there's creating an animation, right? That is time lapse. That's how the humans work. Notice the humans was the first ones to come with animation because what they were doing, they was getting images of how they are actually controlled. That's why they came with animation. Yeah, they are animals. If you see the word animal and animate, it's the same. It's coming out of the same colloquialism, out of the same root. Animated people. That's why the Beast got the idea for animation, because one of them received it. It's like, damn, people move like this. What they were saying was humans, we move like this, and we move stiff, and we move like, it's like someone's drawing a picture and like sketching out our reality, and that's how they are focusing. That's how they are moving in time frames, uncoordinated time frames, which I call disjointed U's. But we're supposed to be moving in zip formation. We're supposed to be moving in zip formations. If you notice, when you see black people dance, once we start dancing, we move in one left to right. We start our vibration, our rhythm. It's in a zip formation. You know what I mean? Like a Z formation. That's all based in evolutionary people that are evolving, people that are moving into a state of loquacity, people that won't follow behind. When we came to this this whole conclusion of frequency and sound waves coming into the planet and reception and inspiration, we figured out that it all lined up. We was receiving reception and frequency and things like that, inspiration, ideas to move us into the future. Right? People had to be opened up to that as receivers collectively. The white man has a community that does that. It's called Mensa. Now he'll tell you Mensa is he says it's a group of intelligent people and things like that. Mensa is a coven. Mensa is a coven. The white man figured out it's not a religious coven, it's a mental coven. See, because the white man, unlike you Negroes who still walking around egotistical, talking about, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to work as a group, I want to receive, you got that white man mentality in you. The Beast done figured out that the only way he's going to make it into the future is collectively as one mental force. That's why he formed groups like Mensa. That's why he formed something called the intelligence community. Hello, FBI, CIA. Why do they call it the intelligence community? He's telling you something there. But our people are not waking up to it. Our people don't see it. I'm going to take another call. 347, you're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Teach? It's Ramon.
Hey, Ron. What's going on?
I just wanted to, get back on the Universal thing real quick. Now, I know what you're saying, but the reason why I'm asking you this because I know you said there's a place where the past exists and where the future exists. If not another universe, where exactly is this place?
When I was talking about where the past and the future can exist, that's in the dimensions.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with the universe, because I said the universe has nothing to do with time. Time is only contained in this atmosphere under the sun.
So I just guess that it's one of the places that exists beyond the 5 dimensions that we probably can't comprehend at the moment, or I can't comprehend at the moment.
Say it one more time. Repeat. I'm sorry.
I said so the past, like knowing where the past comes from or where the future's coming from. This must be a place where I can't probably comprehend right now, like the dimension, like probably beyond the 5th.
Beyond the 5th?
Yeah.
You mean so? What you're asking me is where does the past go?
Or where does it come from? Like you said, it's still going on somewhere. I remember sitting in class, you said the past is still going on somewhere, like right now. Like yesterday somewhere it's happening, and tomorrow somewhere it's happening. Like so, I would think, where exactly is this place coming from?
Yeah,
where does it? Yeah,
it's always in the continuous state within the dimensions. Think of it like this: if I start a record playing, right? Just visualize this. I got a record playing on the turntable. Now I'm halfway into the record, right? Did the first part of the record go anywhere?
Say that again.
If I got the record playing, right? I got it on the turntable, and I'm in the middle of the record. The first part of the record that we already heard, did it go anywhere?
Well, no.
Okay, that's how they didn't think of that record as one. But think of that record as dimensions. So we just in the present state, and we moving into the future state. But that first state is still in existence because we in a rotation. So those dimensions, those are still locked in dimensions. Those past and present are still locked in dimensions. You know, that we done moved past already. But those dimensions are necessary to make a complete record.
Okay, so you wouldn't think time travel would time travel be possible if the Armored beings could come back to us and send us messages? They
already doing that.
Right. So I'm saying, is that possible? Like for us to figure out a way to do?
Yeah, they've been that's what they did. Every time when they travel each dimension, that's time travel.
Right.
When they go, that's why. Remember when I said that our people are going to start? I said new people are going to be starting to go interdimensional.
Right.
I said that means enter into dimensions, different dimensions.
I got you 100%. I just had to make sure I really understood that because, I don't really ask questions much because I usually get everything you say. So, when I do get a question, it's damn sure going to be a good one.
Hey, man, it's fine, man. Like I said, ask me anything. That's what I'm here for. Ask me anything. All right?
Thanks, T. Just wanted to get understood on that.
All right. Now, there's only, like I said, when you're dealing with the universe, like I said, I'm going to say this, there is no other planet, there is no other universe, there's only one universe. The universe is big enough to contain everything in it. The universe is big enough to go continuously, and receive light, intelligence. The Amen beings, they travel through the universe. You understand? How do they travel through the universe? Through their intelligence, through light. Their intelligence is so strong that it's expanding the universe. How about that? Their intelligence is so strong that it's actually the light that's expanding the universe. When the beast is talking about the light, the universe is expanding, that's them doing that. Their intelligence is so strong that it's pushing darkness and it's opening up darkness with more light. Their intelligence is attached to the darkness to open it further, to keep pushing it. Because that's how this thing works. When I said there is no end, there is no that's it. There's no start and no stop for them. They're always going. There's no, people say, oh, well, what is intellect in? Intellect don't end no place. This was the open door. Elijah and them was trying to get to where this is. And Islam and all that, they was trying, Dr. York and them was trying to get to here. You understand? That's why they was talking about, they was getting a little reception talking about Elijah said the black man is mentally dead. And then he put the universe on his head. What was all that? He was trying to show you something. But it was over a lot of Negroes' heads and who was them walking with him. Dr. York wrote, the first book he wrote was The Mind. You understand? Then he had to go off into the goddamn African junk because that's what niggas want. The niggas wanted some African. They shake their ass. They didn't want that. So he had to go through all that. It was necessary. So now I don't have to give people what they want. I'm going to give them what it is, how it is. You've accepted it or not. Like I said, it's going to come to the time where only the elect, because the Amen being so, only the elect few are going to get this. They're going to be the ones who are going to be in tune. The rest of, like I said, our people are not going to get it. They're going to still keep spitting up and repeating the same things as a white man. The one who came to cause confusion. Because at a certain point, they figured that, you know what, hey, I like being in charge. I like being in control. I like being able to control this planet and, ride my horse wherever I want to, beat niggas up, control and torture the gods. Put them in slavery and in bondage, had them living in pissy-ass elevator projects and whatnot. They like that. Watch you begging them for jobs. You understand that? Keeping you controlled by money, having your black woman like a whore. For him and whoever else. They like that. That gives them a charge to see you. They love to humiliate your black woman because in real time, like I said, they are torturing the gods. They're torturing the god women. They like that. they get a charge off of that. They don't get a charge off of doing it to their own woman. You know what I mean? Because she's nothing. They get a charge off of doing it to your woman. You know? The beast has conquered the gods. But in real time, the almond beings, through the power of electricity, will move forward. They will sync up collectively. Right? This is mentellect. The introducing of a higher frequency to sustain one continuous thought, one continuous mind frame, one continuous reception. That's the concentration that you've been looking for. That's the meditation that contain and have one continuous thought. I'm going to tell you something. I said to people, after a while, when we gather our people, I said, when we start making members, we're going to totally flip this thing over in a second. I said, as I start making members, you know, and we start taking people in, the people who are not on the same page, the people who are not going to do what they're told, the people who are not going to be part of the collective and the body got a problem with that, they're going to be booted out, and they're never going to be told. They're going to be told that they can never enter class again. Never. Because we're in a serious state right now where we're trying to raise this frequency, and we ain't got time for anybody's last millennium bullshit, or they ego trips, or they want to be individuals. Go somewhere else. Go amongst a black race. Go amongst the black race. You got a bunch of chowderhead niggas out there who want to be individuals, who want to be their own gods. Go amongst them. See how that's working out with the black race. They black ass is about to be exterminated. They don't even know it. You understand that? That's how this thing is going down. This is real. There is no alternate universe. There is no alternate planet. See, this is how the beast does when he creates alternate lies to cause confusion. You niggas already confused enough by things going on here in the damn world. Now he going to introduce an alternate universe and an alternate planet? Give me a goddamn break. And y'all actually repeating this shit? I'm not getting at you, Rod. I'm not talking to you, Rod. Not you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about just black people in general. I'm not even talking about my people here, because I know I say there's no such thing as, I don't never want to, don't get me wrong, I'm not ever discouraging people to ask me questions. Ask anything you want, but I'm just letting the people out there who actually seriously repeat this stuff. You know, think about what you're saying before you say it. Don't just say it because the white man said it. Don't just say you creating anything. You're not creating, because obviously when people ask about creating stuff, you're obviously not hearing what I'm telling you. You're not creating anything. You're just an instrument. You understand? Either you're going to be an instrument for low frequency or high frequency. Low definition or high definition. Defined states of mental pictures and perception and power. You understand that? Niggas, they not even on no high state of no they're not even on a 3-dimensional, but niggas really basically on a 2-dimensional more than anything. You know, niggas ain't functioning on nothing. You know, they're not functioning on anything other than, like I said, than just repeating whatever, you know, like I said, whatever the beast give you, whatever reality he give you, that's what it is. Our people are not focused on functioning on anything. They still talking about, yeah, we can all get together because we black. They still talking that stupidity, that madness. You know, niggas still sitting up here talking about, yeah, I'm my own God, and we individuals, I ain't trying to hear nothing. Yeah, all right, whatever. They still talking that madness. And you seeing people, every time you turn around, like I said, you see Mensa, okay? And look it up, MENSA. That's a intelligence coven. They're coming together mentally. And you jackasses still sitting around here talking about, I'm my own God. Yeah, right. Just thinking about that make me want to play something. I need to play some music. Because we, like I said, we want to raise intelligent children. The whole thing is to raise an intelligent progeny and ascension. Intelligent children, a new race. You understand? I came here and I opened myself up to give my people this new identity, this new knowledge of who you really and actually are. This is all 4th dimensional and 5th dimensional stuff. This didn't exist in the 3rd dimension. So obviously, what does that mean? We're moving into a 4th dimension. Right? You know? Like, y'all ain't even ready, like I said. When I do the state of write the electricity book, the Kowalski book, that's gonna be crazy. So, all right. What do I want to play? All right. Fragile State. We'll be right back. When I talked about 144,000, I said that each number was meant to be a coordinate or a breakdown of where people are supposed to be mentally at a certain point in time, where they're supposed to be resonating from, what ideas they're supposed to be receiving. The Amun beings knew, the Sumerians knew, the Mayans knew that an elect people would be raised at a certain time. They knew their time coordinates were right. And they were coordinating time because they had nothing but time to coordinate. That was their whole point. They were coordinating time frames for the future. That was the point of them doing what they were doing. You understand? They wasn't sitting around watching TV and getting prayed up, and they ain't had that bullshit back then. They was just coordinating time frames and setting out prophecy and future things because they was receiving intelligence. You understand? That we were supposed to find today in this day and time as a coordinates. We were supposed to pick up a certain knowledge at a certain time frame. I picked up my knowledge at the age of 33, in the year 2003, right? Well, I like to say I died and was reborn. Yeah, I was a totally different person for the first 32 years of my life, and I changed in the 33rd year. I became Nuben Menkares, the person you see, or the person that you hear on the radio broadcast, right? Totally different person, totally different identity, legally, making a statement, because coordinates and time frames dictated that this would happen. Certain people are chosen to receive intelligence. There's nothing you could study. I don't give a damn how much you study. I don't give a damn how much you get the knowledge and you take it and you repeat it. All you doing is repeating it like a parrot. It don't mean nothing. You understand that? And it matters less, even less than when you repeat the same things a white man say. It don't mean anything because you can't do anything with it. If you're not chosen as one of the people to get it, if you're not living like that, then it means nothing. That's why I said the people, after a while, the people who are not coming into the state of mental, the people who are not living this life of mental, like the people who are not living for, of, and by, and within this new state and this community, my words are not going to mean nothing to you after a while. I'll just be another nigga talking. That's what's going to happen after a while. You understand? Just another nigga talking. Because then you're going to be looking for your next high, your next fix. You're going to be looking for the new nigga that's going to say something that's going to blow your mind. That's not what this is. Mentellect is supposed to be lived. Now, I get on this so much because, in order for these things to take hold, in order for this future prophecy and this ascension to take hold, it means that a people have to be living this way every day as a community collectively. The Amun beings live that way in the future state, in the outer realm. I don't even refer to them as the future state because they even beyond the future state. And the outer realm, which is beyond these beyond the dimensions, in the outer realm, space, the universe, they live collectively. Family, women, men. You understand that? They're not sitting up here as individuals. Because the minute you start thinking as individuals, that's when you become the weakest link. The beast says it all the time. Our weakest link, the strongest, we're only as strong as our weakest link. Because it takes a group or a collective to focus. It's not an individual focus. That's why I have to be mindful of the people I'm allowing to come to the. After a while, I'm going to start being mindful as we start getting people to come. We're going to be mindful of the people we let in. You can come to class, but then after a while, you're not going to be allowed to come to class. You understand? Because we don't want people who are sucking our energy. You can listen to the radio broadcast all you want to. We're only interested in the people who are living this. Because that's when the frequency is going to take hold. Now there's a bunch of people who come in for selfish and selfish ways. Because I want to be that nigga that's talking the stuff. I want to be, like I said, my word's not going to mean nothing if y'all not saying it collectively, together. if y'all not in a collective group. If I don't look outside and I'm like 20 of y'all turn to the left, and y'all all 20 of y'all turn to the left, 20 of y'all turn to the right, that's how it's supposed to go. Same way the damn atoms and the neutrons and all these things line up, that's how y'all supposed to line up. You understand? Same way your cell structure and your cells all fight, push, lock in certain DNA codes and whatnot and work together and work in unison, right? So one cell, what happens if one cell gets out of whack? They call that cancer. You understand? And what does the white man do to a cancer? He tries to cut it out. Because that cancer, that one bad cell, that one black-ass nigga cell that wants to act out of turn, don't want to do what all the other cells want to do, that cell is going to cause a problem in the body. See how we were made biologically structured, where everything is supposed to flow together collectively? You understand? Not no individual flow. That's illogical. That's biologically incorrect. I say individuality is like homosexuality. I'm going to say it just like that. Individuality is like homosexuality. Something that's not logical. I'm not talking about the sex act, and I'm not saying you individuals are homosexual, even though you guys got an egotistical problem and whatnot. A lot of you guys do got a fag nature about you. You want to be, I just want to know myself. But, you got a feminine mentality with you and a childish, jealous mentality, which is all keyed into some female type of nonsense. But what I'm saying is that these things, biologically, you're structured to move all of your functioning skills and your physical functioning skills move together collectively, not individually. They move together collectively and work together collectively within a body to make you live, to get you to live. Anything out of whack, anything that's going on being rogue and doing what it wants to do, is going to cause problems in your body. It's cause you to get sick, it can kill you. That's the same way I look at it when that's the same way I look at it when we got people who want to be individuals out here who want to listen to parts of the message or take what they want. And like I said, you can't be amongst the body because now you're messing up the frequency. You're throwing off our frequency. You understand? You're going to throw off the frequency. That's how high the frequency is supposed to get. You understand? You're going to throw the frequency off. You can take just one person could take us off of that elecquosity state. Put us back into the electricity state. Drop us down in vibration. Drop us down in frequency. That can happen. Now, that one thing can throw us off. See, in this state, our minds are open. We can do whatever we want in the evolution of ourselves, as long as we don't get ourselves entangled in that other reality with the beast. You understand that? In this reality, in the real, in the true and living reality, we can do what we want as separate people who are separating ourselves as the linear people away from the circular people. We can do what we want as long as we don't involve ourselves in the life of the beast. We don't involve ourselves in his ways. We, like I said, how I liken it to is you look at the Jewish community, and they live their own lives within their community. They don't get involved with the outside world. You understand? That's their world. That's how we're supposed to be doing in the state of mental. We're supposed to be living like that. We're not supposed to be sending our women to work or to the damn welfare office. You understand? We're not supposed to be doing that. Our community is supposed to be stronger. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Dr. York was trying to do that. Our community, especially coming in this day of mental, is supposed to be stronger because now we got true knowledge. They was limping along on Islam and all this other stuff, and they dealt with what they had at the time. But our community is supposed to be stronger. You understand? More solid. We're supposed to know who the black-ass devils are and keep separate from them. That black race is not of us. See, we didn't know that back at the time. See, that's what Garvey and them didn't know and whatnot. And that kept the frequency. That's why their frequency kept low. That's why their movements fell apart. You understand? Because they had a bunch of black-ass demons It wasn't so much the white man, because he always used the black-ass demons to come amongst you and keep the frequency low and get the vibration low. These niggas always want to start an argument. They want to cause confusion. They want to be individuals. They don't want to do something they told to do. They got a problem with authority. They got a problem with being told what to do. These are the niggas that cause confusion. But see, in this state, we understand why the black race does that. We understand that they're going to lower the frequency. You understand? The Amun Bings understood it. They ultra-stood it. That's why they said 144,000. There's a reason. All that, like I said, that number was coordinates. Coordination. Coordination. You understand? Notice the word nation in there. You know? There's no coincidence. Events coinciding with each other. There's no coincidence. You know? Coordinates are meant for a people to move in a certain order, in a certain line. Our people are not getting that. We got to move in a line, collectively, together. You understand that? This is the way the frequency raises. This is the way the vibration becomes stronger. Because, like I said, one person that pops out of frame is the one that will kill us all. You understand? They will kill us all. Because now we've become like the black race. You understand? We've become marked for extinction. You understand that? One person could do that. So I have to be mindful. People want to be made in and they want to be part of the thing and part of this thing. But you have a lot of people with the black mentality. They can't receive the high frequency. It's not in them to receive it. They're dead receivers. They're dead receivers. You understand? You can't do anything with dead receivers. The majority of your black race are dead receivers. Face that. There's no light in the black race. It's only darkness. Only ignorance. You understand? No reception there. These people are not going to move from that three-dimensional state of control. They're not going to move into freedom. You understand? The reality, as I said, the reality for the slaves back in the days was slavery and bondage. That's it. You know, that's where they didn't exist at. The fourth dimensional people, the fifth dimensional people, the people that keep moving in dimensions and keep raising in frequency are the people that are riding this wave as a collective and opening themselves up, and they took away their ego. I finally understood what Dr. York meant when he said in order for our people to move forward, we have to remove the ego. I understood that. I don't want to do this. Who this nigga think he is? That's what he meant. Jealousy. Why she gotta have, or why he gotta be? That's it. Those are people who look at themselves as individuals. Who this bitch thinks she is? That's of the black race. I don't want no black people around me. I don't want no niggas around me. I said it. You go live with that black madness. You understand? We don't want no black madness around us. You know, when I talked about the Mensa people, I said, you know, you don't see this. You know, sister said to me, she said, oh, yeah, I bet ain't no black people in Mensa. Hell no, I'm sure it ain't. Not at all. You know, our people got a problem. You know, these things got to be wiped away for the bright one. A lot of our people, it's not going to be, you know, the frequency's not going to be raised on them. They're not of the 144,000. They're not of the elect. That's not just something that you could take and put that number on. And like I said, a lot of you niggas that's sitting around here using that number and saying you connected to that number, you're going to pay for that with your lives. You understand? Because if you're really not connected to that, if when the time comes where this thing start kicking in, and you trying to wear that number, you understand? When you start trying to wear that number, and you start really having to put that S on your chest for real, and you niggas can't do it, and you're not going to receive that intelligence, you niggas going to be put to death. You understand? There's death for you. You're already mentally dead. You're trying to reach. You understand? Because you're causing confusion. All people, all things that serve no purpose or serve no use in this future realm, all things that cause confusion are going to be moved out of the way. Trust me, I know. It's not a game. Certain people started running the wrong way, so they had to be moved out the way. because the Amen beings, the future, the ascension, they want control of this thing again, so they have to raise the frequency in the people to do that. So they'll move out the people who are standing in the way of that. That's simple. You know? That's simple. That's just that simple. Questions, comments. Questions, comments. I'm open for questions and comments. You know, we got a lot of guests here. You know, I'm gonna tell you guests here something. You know, I wish you'd show your face and, you know, registering as a because we got a lot of people listening. We want to see who the guests are, but I guess I can see them when I play back the broadcast. You know, I can see them. You know, I like to see who these hidden guests are that like to listen to my broadcast, because I know it's a lot of you niggas out there that want to listen to what the message is and then take what you want from it and then cause confusion. But that's what you're going to do that. Talked about you niggas in Revelations. And you white niggas. Talked about y'all too in Revelation, causing confusion. But that's what you do. That's what you do best. Those who are going to live for the fusion and those who are going to live to cause confusion. Right? The ones who are in fusion, the ones who are together, are the ones that are going to receive the greater frequency. That's why I talked about the tribes and the families, the 144,000, the 12 tribes, the 12 tribes, 12 times 12 is 144. You understand that? 12 times 12 is 144. Right? The 42 months that was talked about in the Revelations was actually the start of the countdown from 1970 to 2012. That's the 42 months. It actually represented 42 years. And no, that's not the end. That's actually the beginning. Understand that? All of these are coordinates. All of these are time coordinates. Those people, that number 144,000, isn't an actual number. It might just be 12. Like I said, it might be 1,200 people. You understand? Might be it's more than that. Hey, might be that 12,000 people. You know? But it will vibrate on the number 12. Might just be 12 people. But they will master each realm of the three-dimensional picture. They will master it. They will receive a new knowledge as they're moving into that elecquacity state. You understand? As they move into that elecquacity state, they will be taught a knowledge to master all three states by being given real imagery, real logic, real common sense to move them ahead. They will be given mentellect. The ascension has already started gradually, but those of our people who are not together, who are not trying to come together as one, who are not living for this, you are slowing down the ascension. You understand that? You are slowing the ascension. So I'm going to go through these things. Our time is short. So let me run through this like I always do. All right. And people on Facebook, please do not ask me questions while I'm doing the show, please. Do not ask me questions on Facebook. I can't do the show. And, you know, reserve your questions for the radio broadcast. Do not ask me questions on Facebook or inbox me. Please don't do that. You know, ask me silly questions on Facebook about nonsense, please. All right? Respect me, all right? Respect me as a mentor and a teacher. Don't ask me silly questions. All right, I'm going to go through this, and I'm going to do the final answers and the things like that. So, just a second. What does the number 144,000 really mean numerically to the elect? It means as I said, the ninth dimensional people, those people who have come to the stage, that third generation who has come to the stage of 9. That's why, again, the number 12, the number 9 and the number 3 equals 12, which talks about the 12,000 or the number 12 people, or the number 12,000 people in the tribes, right? The number 12,000, which ends up to 144,000, because 12 times 12 equals 144. That's talking about people who have reached the highest stage of knowledge in those three-dimensional stages, right? Who have mastered the three-dimensional state, sight, sound, and speech. The tricks of the beast, who have mastered the submental state of the beast. So that would be those people that reach the highest point of the 9, who have received the higher knowledge to separate as that 10 or that linear state of people. That is 9 plus 3 equals 12. Right? And the 144 represents, again, that 9-dimensional. 1, 4, 4 equals 9. The three zeros represents the 3 states of the 3 dimensions in which they mastered to move on to the 4th. All right? What does the number 13 really represent? New day. It represents the 4th dimension, the opening of the 4th dimension, because 1 and 3 is 4, which represents the mental state, which is one stage above the 3-dimensional state of sight, sound, and speech, which the beast controls. This is why 13 is a bad luck number, because it represents a new order to come and will take his old order out of the equation. What is the new high frequency that the elect will vibrate on? Elecquosity. Right? As 4th dimensional people, the word elect, chosen. 4 quad is 4, right? They elect they elect 4th dimensional people. You understand? Who will move to a 5th dimension, who are actually receiving intelligence from a 5th dimension. So we're going to learn that, go into the 4th and the 5th in time. You understand? This is the evolution that started again. All right? What is does this new frequency transcend the 3-dimensional state? Yes, it does. Because, as I said, it's dealing with elecquosity, not electricity. Electricity is what governs the 3 dimensions. The things you watch, the things you hear, the things you see, and the things that you speak are controlled by electricity. All right? All of it's controlled. What you watch on TV, what you read, everything is generated by electricity, pushed out by electricity. Electricity on electrical state. Everything is generated by a 3-dimensional picture that's moving on a current. All right? So now those ones who are mentally in tune, who are moving to the 4th dimension, will be moving on a whole new current, an elecquosity state. So does the let me see, frequency trans? Yeah. Yes, I said it transcends the 3-dimensional. How do we transcend the 3-dimensional realm? By coming together collectively in this 4th dimensional realm as this opening of the 4th dimensional realm, because the 4th dimension won't open to individuals. It'll only open to a collective, as a group. It's not going to open to individuals. You understand? It's only going to open it to a group because the elect move in a group. It's not me because, this brother Newbin want to have a group and he want to be over a group, so he's trying to get us together because he wants to be over the group. No, that's not it. For the niggas who saying I'm trying to create a cult because I want to be over a cult and, and all this bullshit. No, I'm doing it because that's how the elect works, dummy. That's how the elect works. They work in a group, and they raise groups. They don't deal with individuals. So you're not receiving anything as an individual. All you're doing is regurgitating knowledge that's already here that the white man done put out in the submental state, and you fooling yourself into thinking that you're getting something higher when you're actually not. You're not creating anything. But to the egotistical niggas, they're not going to get that part. If you're creating something, let me see you create something. The reality is you still sitting in your one space smoking your weed, talking shit. You ain't creating nothing. You understand? Knock it off. This is a real ascension we talking about and we making happen. Okay. What does this mean to the 144,000 elect in the future to come? It means ascension. The moving up of a new people, the birth of a new people, an open door. The 4th dimension represents an open door. You understand? To a new future. You understand? An advanced future. Freedom. The first stage is of freedom. Because as we move ahead of the beast and dimensions, this is our freedom. It's like running into freedom. Because he controls you mentally. You are mental slaves. So therefore you are physical slaves. A lot of you still wear his name. The fact that the Amen beings produced a Nuben Menkare is a person who you ain't never heard that name nowhere on the planet. And that they send him knowledge that is not in a book. That's the freedom. You understand? That's the light coming through. But a lot of our people are not going to be able to receive it. A lot of our people are going to push it in the dark. They're going to take it and do what they want with it. Or they're going to try to do what they want with it. You understand? Selfishly. You understand that? Okay. All right. Thank you, sister. Mensa was started in 1946. I thought they was around. Oh, they was around a lot longer. You understand? Yeah, I figured they was around a lot. I said 20 years. I figured they was around for a while. I think I heard somebody mention them back in the 40s. You know, going back that far. You know. Yeah, they're an intellectual coven. Okay, and they're trying to pull in intelligence, future intelligence. That's what they're doing. They're trying to boost their intelligence level. You understand that? So, you know, all your humans are represented immensely. Your Chinese, your East Indians, the white man, they all there. You know, they might have a pseudo Negro there and whatnot. You know, little pseudo Negro there who act like them, a black Caucasian. You know, they might have somebody like that there, but who knows? Who cares? We're not interested. That's not going. None of that nonsense they talking is going to matter in a minute anyway. So, all right, we come to the end of our broadcast. Join us Monday, and we're going to talk about the Antichrist. All right, savior or destroyer of our people, and the Antichrist. Who is the Antichrist? All right. We will discuss that Monday night. For all you simple-minded coons, you're going to be like, oh my God, he's talking about the Antichrist. He was the devil. Oh, nigga, shut up. Go sit down somewhere. Go get prayed up. Smoke a blunt. Go get prayed up. This ain't for you. You understand? This ain't for you. Go smoke a blunt. Get prayed up. Go put your Jesus cross on and your Jupiter Zeus cross on, and have a nice day. It's not for you. All right? So, all right. What do I want to close out with? Like I said, State of Mental Superwoman Project, the 23rd. The 23rd, Sunday, September 23rd. We'll start putting out the advertisement for that in a minute. Okay? I just want to find out what I want to close with. All right. Perfect. This time around, Blue 6. Good night, everyone. I am the intellectual Nuben Minkare, State of Mental Radio. Monday night at 9. Check back with us. Good night.